Suddenly, a horse engulfed in flames came charging uncontrollably toward them. Both girls trembled in fear and desperately raced their horses toward the village. But as soon as they got close to the village, they were horrified by what they saw. The entire village had been devastated. Fires were burning everywhere, and screams filled the air. Suddenly, their horses panicked and reared up, throwing both girls to the ground. Ignoring her pain, Nisha got up and ran straight toward her home. Then, she turned around and saw several executioners dressed in red carrying away her best friend. Seeing her friend in such a condition, Nisha was terrified. At that very moment, mysterious green, vine-like patterns began appearing across her face. Father Carden saw them and immediately shouted, "Kill this witch right now." Just then, a whistling arrow flew out of the darkness and pierced straight through a soldier's chest. A warrior from the tribe was hiding in the bushes, taking aim at the soldiers. Taking advantage of the chaos, Nisha broke free and ran straight to the temple. But when she saw what had happened there, the ground seemed to disappear beneath her feet. Her mother was lying there covered in blood. With her last breaths, her mother struggled to get up and placed an ancient sword into Nisha's hands. She begged Nisha to deliver the sword to a man named Merlin at all costs, because he was the only one powerful enough to stop Father Carden's reign of terror. Suddenly, an executioner dressed in red entered the temple. Nisha's mother stood in front of him like a shield and shouted at her daughter, "Run, Nisha. Complete your mission." Meanwhile, Merlin was completely unaware of the destruction taking place. He stood on the balcony of a palace nearly 1,000 meters above the ground, desperately begging the sky for rain. But instead of water, thick red blood began falling from the sky. The king and his ministers, who were suffering from a terrible drought, celebrated with joy and immediately ordered their men to collect the rainwater. When a bowl of the strange rainwater was brought before the king, he took 2 sips. His face instantly turned pale with terror. It wasn't rainwater. It was the blood of Nisha's tribe. Meanwhile, having lost everything, Nisha ran through the forest with the sword pressed tightly against her chest. But a pack of fierce, starving wolves was chasing her. To escape them, Nisha quickly climbed onto a tall rock. But when she saw the enormous, monster-like wolves surrounding her from every direction, she drew the sword her mother had given her and charged fearlessly into the entire pack alone. Swinging the sword with all her strength, she cut down the wolves one after another. Suddenly, an executioner dressed in red appeared out of nowhere and lunged at Nisha. She fought him desperately. Then, the magical power hidden inside her suddenly burst out of control. Sharp vines erupted from the ground, wrapped themselves around the man, and strangled him to death. The next morning, when Nisha woke up, she saw the strange corpse lying in front of her. Horrified by what she had done, she immediately began vomiting. A short while later, Father Carden arrived there with his men. After seeing the magical markings carved into the trees, he became convinced that Nisha was responsible. He had no idea how terrifying the power hidden inside that girl truly was. But when Greymock noticed the magical markings on the tree, he suddenly stopped. He touched the blood smeared across the tree, and a dangerous glint appeared in his eyes. The secret of Nisha's power had finally been revealed. And now, she was the next target.